were just talking about On Cinema.
Yes.
Which is it's been such a wild ride, hasn't it?
Yeah.
My question with On Cinema now, for you guys that don't know, started as a movie review.
It still is, essentially.
Right, but it was this two couple guys reviewing films, but there's been a lot of twists, a lot of turns, a couple of tribulations. Was it always your intention from the beginning that it would have this kind of story arc to it?
No.
Or did that kind of just as it went?
No, the story there is Greg and I were both on the movie The Comedy that we talked about earlier. And as you do with movies, you have a lot of downtime. And there was this feeling at that summer of there being kind of a overabundance of podcasts of comedians. Just the Mark Maron thing had been kind of blowing up, and there was just this, like, to Greg and I at least, it felt like there was too many voices piping in about garbage, you know. And so we had just idly we had this idea of doing this movie review thing, and we did it on my phone. So like the first 5 episodes of the podcast are these 3-minute, like, let's talk about Ghostbusters, and then like not really knowing much about Ghostbusters, and it was just kind of. But we started doing longer versions of that, and in that setting, when we were back in LA in my studio, we developed kind of a couple of personas that started developing there. And then, I think we realized that these guys had, that we could tell stories through these episodes that could be talked about. You didn't have to actually see happen. You know, you could just say what we did off camera, be talking about them. And you could almost create this drama that you didn't have to actually shoot or actually produce. It became like a radio play, and it just kind of naturally happened, just to probably fill, because we didn't want to just make it this one joke of guys who probably haven't seen the movies giving good reviews. So it became kind of. After a couple seasons, I think we saw what the potential of these two characters, and it could go anywhere. And it's been I think the most fun, creatively stimulating project for me.
Really?
Ever?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, just because it's such a fun character to be, and it's and Greg really is, I think, the funniest person in the world.
Really? He's a great foil. I mean, you guys have good chemistry.
So, and it exists in this form that, like, it can exist on Twitter, it can exist in the show itself, it can be this soap opera. It's like we've gotten to make a soap opera that can go forever.
And that's true. That is true.
And that is very liberating, and you know, characters can die and come back. And
that's true. I see that as well. The culmination, of course, of the recent arc being the trial for murder for those 20 vanquished poor souls.
Yeah.
That was incredible. That
it really was.
I mean, I've never seen anything. I've genuinely never seen anything like that.
I know, and I hate like being like so kind of boastful of my own stuff.
Sure.
But somebody has to.
I know.
Again, it goes back to the thing I was saying earlier with Awesome Show. It's this collaborative thing that I'm so proud of. Eric Notornicola, who directs it and writes with us, and Greg and our producer Andrew, and these people that make that possible.
Right.
So I feel like it's my job to come out and help.
You gotta.
But it does feel like we put that out. We made that, and I've heard it from people like you, and we feel it. We're like, there's nothing else like this.
Yeah.
And
just the concept alone of seeing you sitting in a courtroom, and playing it like straight.
Really straight.
It's like, what the hell?
People like Odenkirk, who is always sort of checking in with me, and I'm checking in with him about stuff. You know, he wrote me just being like, "This is like the best thing I've seen you do in a long time." That's feels exciting to me, because I'm like, yes, I feel that way too.
Right.
But it's also a thing where it's like it doesn't get treated like anything else either, because it's not, you know, I don't care about awards or anything, but like it isn't a TV show. It's this thing that people end up watching on YouTube as it's 5 hours, folks. So it's like it's a thing that you have to commit to.
Yeah.
But I don't know. We're extremely proud of it.
Good.
And want to do more things like that.
Yeah.
Because we're like, oh, this is a fun. Other people have said like, what a great environment to do comedy in. Just this a trial where, you just set up, and it was so fun to make because we just did it in a courtroom that was unused. It was like a real courtroom that had been, I guess, abandoned or something.
Oh.
But we just set, like this here, we set up at 5 cameras and then just did this play every day for like 3 days.
How much do you guys plan it out?
It was planned out. Yeah, it was pretty planned out, but not, I would say not written, not dialogue written.
Because you got planned.
Yeah, because we had cast people that knew, not to give too much away, but we cast people that knew how to behave in that environment and let them. And by the end of the couple of days, I mean, everybody was like, "This is so fun because we're playing. It's playing. You're playing."
Yeah.
And if there was an outtakes version of that, you would see lots of like
lots of
crying,
joy.
laughing, lots of joy. Yeah, lots of like freedom.
Do you think about like how do we like this is so good and I'm so proud of it. How do we get more people to watch this?
Yeah, I mean, it's always, especially with On Cinema, it's been this sort of frustrating. It's not for everyone, but the people that love it really care about it and support it in different ways and feel like it's the greatest thing. So I'm happy for that. I wish it was, millions of viewers, but it's. I understand that it's a contentious, dry, watching bad people, watching kind of negative. It's not like it's a kind of comedy that's like that kind of bilist kind of not gross, but just kind of like creates uncomfortable experiences.
Yeah, definitely.
And that's been our whole career in various forms. So I understand that some people maybe have enough shit going on in their real life that they don't have the luxury of just like relaxing to that kind of humor.
Why is it that you think that you guys have always had that fascination with like, and you see it in the other shows that you guys produce as well, that absolutely makes is a real focus on like discomfort, cringe, for lack of a better word,
I'll take it,
What is that? What's going on there?
I mean, I don't know. It comes probably from the kind of comedy we liked. Some of it like, Albert Brooks, Albert Brooks's Lost in America movie, which I think is maybe my favorite comedy film. Every scene is the kind of scene that makes your stomach kind of hurt. It tenses you up. It's like, oh no, don't go there. Don't say that. So there's some of that. Most of it's probably though just in Awesome Show at least like creating absurd situations that go dark for very not very logical reasons or realistic reasons. But yeah, I don't know. There's something. I think it's also like a fundamental comedy construct of failing is funny, of failure. Like slapstick comedy is violence, and somebody slipping on a banana peel or falling down stairs is essentially them failing somehow. And so we're doing it on more of like a emotional level sometimes.
Right. Huh. It's just, I gotcha.
Nothing's funny about like people things going well.
Yeah.
I don't think that.
I'd like to see an attempt at that, but I feel it.
Yeah, I mean there's kind of comedy that's like people being clever and smart and witty and quick, and that's a different kind of comedy.